Everyone, guys, if you're still gaming today and you're wondering why you're not getting the things you want out of life, whether it be finances or a life partner and all that stuff, let me give you my take. We're going to go into this video as to what exactly happened. And I'm going to tell you why you should not be gaming as much as you think you should. So let's get into it. All right, guys. So we're going to get right into this video where it's a married couple. The wife lashed out because her husband has a huge gaming, in my opinion, addiction. I said it. It's an addiction, but let's go into it.
I, 27 female, screamed at my husband, 28 male, over his hobbies, and now he's changed, and I don't know how to fix this.
Oh, man.
Hey everyone, I need some advice about a situation with my husband. We've been married for 4 years. He has a room where he keeps all his hobbies: sim racing, aviation setups, soccer analysis tools, Lego sets, music production equipment. Basically, it's his sanctuary. He's super analytical and loves writing down and dissecting things, from sports to politics. He's slightly on the spectrum and very introverted, so he doesn't have close friends. I'm really the only
I'm going to pause it there. Being introverted or using introverted as is just an excuse. There, I said it.
Person he shares everything with. He's always inviting me into his space to be part of his interests. I love him and appreciate that he wants to include me, but sometimes I just need some time for myself. Recently, I snapped. I yelled at him, saying some hurtful things that I didn't mean, like how his interests bore me, that he needs to get a social life, and even questioned why I married him.
Okay. It sounds like you hate your husband.
I regret every word, but my anger got the best of me, and I couldn't control it in that moment. Since then, he's completely changed. He stopped spending time in his room, moved to sleeping on a couch, and barely talks to me. He even ignored our usual tradition of watching our home nation soccer team play, something he'd never skipped before. Instead, he was working on his laptop, breaking our no work at home rule. When I asked him about it, he said he didn't care about the game and mentioned that maybe he should be more like his father, who's a workaholic and whom my husband idolizes. He even added, I don't blame him for divorcing at the age now, and I've apologized multiple times, but he just says, it's okay, maybe you're right, and shuts down any attempts I make to talk about his interests. I'm terrified he's considering divorce. I know I messed up, but I don't know how to rebuild trust and help him feel valued and loved again. I don't want to lose him, but I'm unsure how to approach this and make amends. Any advice?
You definitely have to go to therapy, learn how to communicate better. Couples therapy could help as well if he's willing to. But yeah, it seems like you're just dumping on your husband for who he is as a person.
His home and that room and her was his safe space. And the fact that like he got yelled at for it, to me, that's betrayal. It's just, wow, you can't accept me for who I am.
No. Okay, guys. Let's describe both sides of the coin here. You have women who are complaining that there aren't enough good men. And from their standard, it's the typical, they're not tall enough. They're not good looking enough. They're not good in the bedroom. They don't make enough money and everything. Like these are their typical complaints. But then underneath all that, where the good women, they do want someone that's relatively attractive, like at least a 5 or a 6, who is somewhat decent in their fitness or into their health. And these are that women and all that stuff. So you have these type of women, right? They're trying to look for a partner, a life partner. Then you have the men, right? The men. And the number of this group where they spend a lot of time on video games, right? The stats are there, where Rockstar Gaming with their GTA 5 and now going to be GTA 6. Then you have, what was it? Counter-Strike and then Fortnite. I don't know all the games and everything, but let's just make it clear. I used to be a guy that played a lot of games. I wasn't good at it, but I played a lot of games, so I understand the mindset. I understood where my mind was at, okay? I played a lot of games, 20-hour plus weeks, and it wasn't healthy, okay? It weighed a lot on my wife, right? I'm not dumb. I can see it, but I choose to still play video games. Guys, how you treat your personal life is the same way how you treat your finances. You ignore it. You choose to continue to dive into these addictions. Like I said it's an addiction. Video games an addiction. You guys are using it as a way to cope, that you don't want to put any work into a relationship. As much as we want our partners to get involved with our interests, is the same thing as you got to give that same respect of showing interest in what they're interested in. It's a two-way street, okay? This wife, based on what little that we know, she has been putting this up a lot because, come on, guys, come on. Be considerate. Try to show some empathy and understand if you are a person that has no interest in gaming at all, and you're trying your best to get involved with a guy who is heavy into gaming, that's introverted, right? It's not really much of a talker. Do you really think that the average woman out there likes men who likes to game, who would actively choose to stay at home, play a video game versus taking your woman out where you both can enjoy the night by going to a restaurant or to a park or to a carnival or to, like, up here in Toronto, it's like the CNE, it's our little carnival here. Do you really think that the average woman doesn't want that? Like, the game of life is to have a life partner, right? If you don't want to have a life partner, then okay, by all means, continue what you're doing. But just know that the average guy who games and everything are actually single. The statistics are there. The average guy is single. There's a reason why escorts are receiving such a huge amount of revenue on their OF page or through the personal side of things where they meet up and all that stuff. Like it's rampant. It's crazy. But anyways, when you see stuff like this, when I see stuff like this, I'm like, guys, if you continue the game and game at a very unhealthy level, and I'm telling you this right now, the average person does not have a healthy relationship with gaming, you are going to end up being alone. You may not be alone now. You might be telling me, like, you know what? I love my life. I go to work, I come home, I don't play a lot of, I just want to play my games and everything. I order takeout. That's my life. I'm happy. I'm like, for now. For now. But when you decide to turn on a TV show where there's a young couple or a married couple and they're actually happy, they want to start a family, or they are spending time maybe at a restaurant, you're just watching a fictitious hypothetical situation of a couple having a good time, and you're just thinking deep down that you might want this, you're not happy. You're settling. You're settling because you're choosing not to actually go after what you want, making the changes you need to make. Guys, you have to make sacrifices, a little bit of changes for the life partner that you might want to have, right? You cannot have one person completely submit to everything who you are. That's just not how it works. You might be spending probably the rest of your life to maybe finding this life partner who is willing to settle for who you are. But why? You guys don't want to have that bedroom action, right? Do you really like it just doing it yourself? Doesn't that get boring for you guys? Right? Don't you all want to have that? If you really, I don't get it. So I know I talk about a lot about finances, but it falls under the same characteristic of someone who is very ignorant with their finances. The average person today is a gamer. The average person today buys or spends a lot of money on Uber, DoorDash, any sort of those apps. The average person today spend a lot of in-game purchases and things like that, or subscriptions. You guys are very typical in terms of what type of consumer you are, and corporations have made note of this. They know who you are, and they're strategizing around this, and it's scary. So if it's one thing to take away from this, be mindful, try to do better for your partner, make the changes that you need, because it's a give and take when it comes to relationship, and it's everyday work. It doesn't stop. And the sooner you guys recognize it, the better for whoever's already in a relationship. But for the ones who want a relationship or is completely coping with the idea of just being alone, make the changes. Make the necessary changes right now, because no one's going to do it for you. That person that's going to be finding you, they're not going to be there because you're at home playing video games. So if you guys want better out of life, make the changes that you need, okay? So until then, guys, I'm signing out. You guys like this content, comment, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.